The US and Iran are two countries that have never gotten along. But why do they continuously get into conflicts with one another? Well, today we're gonna take a brief look at the history between these two countries to find out. It all started way back in 1953 when the US and Iran were actually good allies. At the time, Iran was ruled by a man named Mohammad Mossadegh, who had recently taken control of the country's oil industry, angering the US, who had previously owned it. With the help of Britain, the CIA orchestrated a coup d'etat against Mossadegh, placing the Shah of Iran in power instead. The US and Iran then developed a close relationship. The Shah became a strong US ally in the region, a position which made him very unpopular amongst the Iranian people. By the late 1970s, Iran had become increasingly unstable as various groups began to grow in resentment towards the Shah's regime, which they viewed as a US puppet. On February 11, 1979, the Shah left Iran for the United States for medical treatment, at which point an Islamic revolution quickly overthrew his government and Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini became the new leader of Iran. Immediately upon taking power, the new government severed all diplomatic ties with the United States and began the process of nationalizing all foreign-owned businesses, including those owned by the US. In response to this, the US placed an embargo on Iran, which still remains in effect today, but the conflict didn't end there. In 1980, Iraq invaded Iran, which prompted Iran to take American hostages in order to prevent the US from coming to the aid of Iraq. As the hostage situation dragged on, the Iranian people grew increasingly angry at the US, and the Iranian government used this to their advantage by spreading anti-American propaganda throughout the country. Eventually, the hostages were released and the US was humiliated. Since then, the two countries have remained hostile towards one another, with both sides supporting opposing sides in various regional conflicts. For example, during the Syrian civil war, Russia backed the government of Bashar al-Assad while the US backed various rebel groups looking to overthrow him. This conflict between the two countries has also spilled over into the Middle East, with both countries supporting opposing sides in conflicts such as the Lebanese civil war and the war in Yemen. Today, the US and Iran remain hostile towards one another, with Iran being a major point of contention in the Middle East. In recent years, Iran has grown increasingly close to North Korea and Russia, to other major rivals of the United States, which has only further isolated Iran on the world stage. It is for this reason that the US has imposed heavy sanctions on the country in an attempt to change its behavior, and that's why